and have some strategies that works against L5 at the beginning of the game, they look pretty good. But after a while as a game like progresses after level 10, especially after level 13, they're losing it a little bit by little bit, and it keeps on happening. Maybe in game 3 they can focus a little bit more after getting some fresh air, some drinks. Who knows? Let's see.
Well, going into our third map, it will be Infernal Shrines. It'll be the map choice of L5, as Raven will continue to take that first pick. So, I want to say this is the map that Falstad is not as important on, but they need to take Falstad away from Nitrogen. I really still and truly believe that even on this map, it's not, you know, a huge map. It's not Cursed Hollow. It's not Sky Temple. It's not Dragonshire. It's not like the Falstad map, but it's so. I mean, he's just so good on the hero, and I think that's something to look forward to in this draft. If they allow L5 to have Falstad again and get punished by it again, the results would just simply speak for themselves as we go into this draft.
And as you watch HGC Korea or any other regions, you see the importance of having this wide hero pool. If you can only play 6 heroes out of the 62 and go into a Hero League, that's going to be tough. Let's say if you're like the 5th pick and then you're forced into a situation where you have to pick a support. And only support you can play Uther. And then if you pick Uther, the moment you pick Uther, your chat's going to be on fire. So basically, I want to tell you the importance of having a big hero pool. It also comes out in the draft of the pros. Really, it shows from L5. See, even Raven, they are, after a break, they should have been talking on this during the break. I know they maybe want to use more time, but L5, and especially on this map, there is also Kerrigan and Diablo. There's just so many things to ban. Then, with lack of information they have against L5, it's gonna make every single draft super tough when the opponent just has a super wide range of hero pool.
There's a chance that we see a Falstad ban here. L5 is considering it. They can absolutely just do the standard Zarya ban. Either way, I'm pretty sure that Raven will be glad, or L5 will be glad to allow them the Zeratul that they had it in the last set. If Raven picks Zeratul first here again, I think it's a mistake. Hammond will have to play a much better game this game than he did in the previous game if this Zeratul pick is to work. You can see a shot of him there on camera right now, but this allows L5 to, if they choose to, get Malfurion and Falstad, but
or
more
even
importantly,
Kerrigan.
more importantly, Kerrigan is available here. I feel like yes, Zeratul is quite strong, but it's just not warranted in this case. And I think that this is going to come back to bite Raven in Game 3.
Well, they made their choice, and Hamlin did try his best. Like, he literally tried his best to take down even one at the back line, but he failed to do so many times.
He died trying many times.
Maybe this game is the game where he can come back and maybe start to fight like 4v5, and maybe with that Void Prison they can go into Diablo as we saw in match number 1. They can have some CC chain.
Well, we'll see. I mean, certainly anything is possible, and I don't think the Zeratul could have been less effective, so I think we're going up no matter what. But in this next rotation, they have the ability to grab Falstad because L5 did take Kerrigan instead for that map choice. And I just, okay, Rag and Falstad too, maybe?
Even a Diablo will be fine.
Diablo is also fine, but they're going to take Varian instead. You know, the thing is, they don't even necessarily want Falstad. They may want L5 to take it because Hamlin is looking for the picks on Nitrogen here. But we'll see if that ends up coming into play. As now L5 has the ban in their hands. They may just ban a support again. They may ban the Karazim and go down that path. We're not going to be seeing Diablo anymore with both Ragnaros and Varian on the field. I'm just going to ban Vala potentially here for the damage. A fair choice.
They did have surprising the last 2 picks with Vala Rio. But Raven, they L5 is really smart on the drafting because they do pick whatever is needed, but they don't actually show 100% of what they're actually trying to build. And Noblesse has a lot of tanks he can actually play, which forces Raven to just... It's gonna make it so much harder for them to think, pick like this. Is this the right ban or is this the right ban? It's always hard.
I think a Tyrael ban or an ETC ban here is pretty solid. The thing is, there's no perfect ban here, and that's because L5 doesn't show anything in the draft, like you just said. But I think those are the two wisest bans. They could also ban. Realistically, I don't think I was going to say some sort of range damage, but I don't think so. I'm going to ban Diablo. That's a reasonable ban too. You know, we're definitely not seeing it on Raven's side here, but absolutely L5 could have picked it up with the Kerrigan. They're going to take both range damages away here. We're not going to see Falstad on the side of L5. They're not even interested with Zeratul already picked.
My L5's draft looks scary, and they can just finish that with Johanna or any other tanks that Noblesse wishes to play. And Raven,
they can take ETC, still available. Tyrael, solo tank Tyrael, not even out of the question here with this. And I worry Raven. We're going to finally get to see Jung on a carry hero here, the melee carry.
We'll see. I think Rhaegar is also an okay choice. There are just a lot. They still have Gul'dan available for the wave clear.
Gul'dan is not a bad choice at all. And I think that's where we're headed here.
And where Kerrigan just tries to jump in, you can just horrify her and then make her just isolate from the entire team. Maybe that's the way you want to go.
We could see Kael'thas here too. I know he's not really in the meta, quote unquote, but he would not be a terrible choice given the situation. Kharazim and Gul'dan does make it through this time. So we're going to be seeing him. And the last pick here for L5, likely to either be the Tyrael or the ETC.
I would like to see Johanna against the Varian, of course, getting unstoppable, and also, I think giving blind to Kharazim actually works a lot. And but ETC was going for Noblesse.
Okay, ETC, the choice here, a solid comp all around for L5. Raven, they're going to need to make Hamlin a god. Hamlin will have to play perfectly. They've got 3 melees, single, solo, ranged mage damage coming out with Gul'dan. L5, I think, has the better comp, but if Hamlin plays much better here in this third game, maybe they can turn around. Will L5 take this series 3-0, or Raven Mount to come back? We're going to find out right now on this third map, Infernal Shrines. Here we go. In blue, L5, SC on Tychus, Nitrogen on Li Ming, Jonga on Kerrigan, Noblesse on ETC, and Swoy on Malfurion.
And their opponent in red, Raven and Joju in Kharazim, Hamlin on Zeratul, Enemax and Gul'dan, Theon on Varian, H82 and Ragnarok. They kept 3 of the same heroes.
Yep.
And which did not work so perfectly last game. Maybe they can make it work this time, as L5 actually has lots of squishy heroes to say.
Yeah.
Zeratul can turn. Oh, okay, that was pretty dangerous. L5, they just have their eyes wide open for that Zeratul.
Something I want to point out is Swoy is almost always on Malfurion because, and it's a funny thing, like it's an interaction I've started to realize because L5 ends up being blue for some reason. I always end up calling out his name as I think about a lot of my has he played any other heroes of Malfurion. The reason why he ends up with Malfurion every time is because L5 wins every game, so they end up with second pick, and the Malfurion rotation always happens. So like,
that's true.
What's really interesting is because they never get first pick, except potentially sometimes when they win the coin toss in the opening. He always has to play Malfurion, and that means, which is pretty cool for him, that how good he is on other heroes right now is completely hidden to the other teams. So right now he just looks like a one-trick Malf, but we don't even know how well he's playing Karazim right now, who's risen quite up, or how well he's playing Rhaegar really, because he's just simply always playing the Malfurion, which is pretty interesting when you look at it. So just a little interaction I want to point out. I can actually look up exactly how many times he's played the hero, but it's quite a few, because the second rotation always goes to the winning team.
Look at this Dion coming out from the side. Hamlin is waiting for that moment, but as he notices Noblesse coming up, he has to run for his life, and he actually does stall some time here, not getting caught by Junghai at the moment.
Soy has played up until before this best of 5. 1 Rhaegar and 1 Karazim, 4 Malfurions. But today in this series, this is going to be his 3rd Malfurion.
So basically those two are the game they won the coin toss?
7 and 2 will be his Malfurion right after today. And I think it could be, yeah. I'd have to go back and check the VODs.
Hamlin also, okay, as Junghai already started this massacre on top. Hamlin really is trying his best to get a pick off, so it's just not working against L5, because usually they're staying together. And even when he goes for Nitrogen, when he was false, that Nitrogen was just so good, just gusting him away whenever he actually thinks he has a chance to grab him. And that was quick, just by Kerrigan herself.
This is essentially just a almost bloodless exchange here, as they just allowed Kerrigan onto the shrine, and they didn't contest, which was wise. It looks really annoying right now if you're Raven, because you're like, oh, they just got it for free, but I thought there wasn't much Raven could do, so they took these Impalers instead. They pushed this lane. They got a very slight EXP lead. They blocked the damage of the Immortals slightly by using Rag's trait up in the top lane, so the Sword is impervious. They lose a wall, and that's okay. Could have been worse. Dion with the dodge. That was nice. Noblesse is going to eat a lot of damage here. Hamlin does a little bit of damage to Nitrogen, unfortunately, though. Not able to get the kill. Targeting Noblesse wouldn't have been good either, because he just has too large of a health pool, so...
Yeah, like as you said, I don't think Hamlin's Zeratul does not worth the first pick. It should be 4th or maybe 5th as the last pick, possibly.
This is not a reset Zeratul. This is not a rich Zeratul. It's just simply not worth prioritizing this highly. I completely agree.
Yep, and L5 just having that first Punisher, but actually Raven did soak up pretty good EXP, so they're not falling behind at all at the moment. And they've been doing this for the entire series. They were not behind close to level 9 or 10, even after 10, but after hitting 12 and 13, as I mentioned before, their teamwork starts to fall apart, starting from the macro, and that's where the power of L5 actually comes out. So it like counteracts like in the opposite way towards L5, and Hamlin is almost dead again. Wow.
He's lucky that part of the cannon tower that flew off is actually just a doodad and doesn't do damage. Oh, DeYoung is going to get the lockdown here, though, onto Nitrogen. That was a weird interaction.
Yeah, because Nitrogen teleported after, because it's a target.
Yeah.
Target skill. He just went all the way there. Maybe he could have teleported right after. I think it still could have been a kill.
I think it would have been either way, but
stalled like a few more seconds. It doesn't really matter. But and
this
now they can push all the way to the second wall already.
Yeah, they're really pushing the boundaries of what they can do with a small advantage. And this would be terribly risky in any other case, but in this case that they have vision of the bot lane of what L5 is doing, it's not actually that risky. If Sway had actually just blindly rooted, if he had vision of Hamlin there, Hamlin would have died 100%. He's like really playing greedy, just standing there to soak, cloaked. If he had been seen, he would have been dead. The game is close in terms of EXP. Man, Noblesse actually may get picked here.
Did he actually use Power Slide? I guess
yes,
he does. And then there he goes. And even Sam-sided strike chosen, but not really effective against him. That's the pick, and Hamlin comes up, and now it is Junghai in danger zone, but he gets one more and just finishes the Punisher.
There you go. So 2 deaths here for L5, but they are going to have this objective. They already got the bot fort. Now this mid fort push is going to be quite strong, as you know, Junghai's going to respawn in 10 seconds here and come over. H82 again, nullifying this push with the Ragnaros right now. So as you can see, the Punisher is just going to occupy himself with killing this cannon tower. But now that Junga has respawn, they need to be careful. Hamlin is rotating down. He has Void Prison. And there is a taunt available as well. So this is a fight that Raven can absolutely win.
But he gets spotted right away with that drone. Those placements are also very useful. Having those scouting drones, just giving vision, just able to scout Zero Tool just like that, just cancels everything. And here comes, and they noticed L5 is ready for it and gets smashed. But good 3-man Void Prison go well. Kerrigan is so far away at the moment. Maybe Raven can take this. Tychus blows up the first.
Yep, Junga is coming down. There's the stun onto Hamlin though. And that's a kill. Again, overextending. No reason to try to go for that pick there with all the CC that L5 has. Now this fight can get turned around. Junga gets the reset on the minion, gets 2 jumps here. Deong with the taunt. They do have Horrify this time, so Junga will go down. Looks like Nitrogen will be able to start to get some resets though. No, Joju denies him. With resets, it would be a totally different fight. Ends up being an even exchange here yet again. So close call, and Raven takes an EXP lead.
This actually looks like a game that Raven may able to take away from L5 finally.
If they had Horrify, it was 8 seconds away when the Void Prison was going down. If they had Horrify there, Raven would have destroyed that fight. It was a good Void Prison. That's what Hamlin has been doing well. Use these Void Prisons. And
Noblesse does have Mosh available. I think he was looking for that angle. He was being a little bit too passive, and then I thought, what's going on? Now we see it. He picked Mosh instead of Stage Dive, and this is one of the maps they are forced into Shrine. So going into a big Mosh is like you have a higher chance of getting into a big Mosh.
It's also not it's not a huge map either, which is why Falstad is not prioritized really as much in this draft. So that's something to keep in mind here as well. All right, Shrine already controlled position-wise by L5. Look at Noblesse here. Just going to use a face melt to slow this down. Everybody rotates in. Raven gets on it first, though. Where is Jaw? He's actually clearing this wave. They don't have 13, so they wanted to get one more wave of minions before they actually go in. Hamlin's position here is really good this time. Actually just trying to make sure no one can get to this bot lane to get that EXP. They're going to fight without 13 regardless, though. They're committing.
Let's see if Noblesse can have a big Mosh, or if not. Okay, Kerrigan gets cleansed right there, and Noblesse looking for the angle to come in, but gets Horrified, but gets Nitrogen getting some resets, putting off that damage. 7-sided strike does take out Noblesse, and now this is Raven's in favor.
Yep, Raven wins this fight. They have a positive exchange right now. HO82 is very low though, and Odin is still active. HO82 just needs to leave. In fact, well, they win this fight, though. I'm surprised they're just going to give control away. They still win the fight, but H82 just needed to back off there. Well, down a member, and L5 is going to take this.
And Nitrogen did have some mana available. I think that was one of the biggest thing. And having Tychus and Leeming, the burst damage they can put out is actually pretty big. Hamlin just trying to juke and actually catches his own member in that Void Prison. Also, that may actually give him, and actually Jojo takes him out.
H82 with a huge Molten Core here to actually get that done. Well timed, actually. Good coordination here by H82, but there's a root onto Hamlin. You see the combo attempt here by John. He gets a lot of CC done, but no picks. They do secure this Punisher, which is quite huge because if one of these members gets stunned by it, it might go down. Jojo has nowhere to jump, and he goes down, and now Junga on the chase here, gets a reset mid-air, goes through a great Kerrigan play we're seeing right now. Deong is going to get caught here as well, and what started off great for Raven, L5 just outplayed them for that second team fight once Junga came back. This is going to be a keep wall, and it may be more.
Honestly thought Raven had their chance right there, but they have lost it already, and this Punisher, maybe this can be a very short game, and Junga going all the way in. Punisher still at 50% health.
Very good, pull here on the Punisher. Now he's going to bug out because the keep isn't dead. He can't actually attack the core because it's invulnerable. So that's actually quite difficult to do, so props to H82 doing this. H82 in this game has basically been on keep and fort defense duty. Like, he's using his multi-core to defend,
yeah,
and then in this case, he's like, all right, I got this. I'll pull him into the core, and he can't kill it because it's invincible. He didn't have his molten core because he used it to get that kill earlier after the Void Prison. But they saved the keep. All thanks to his pull there on
now,
that Punisher.
Now L5 has the lead for once in this game. They had 16. Raven still needs some time to soak up some EXP for 16. And L5, this is their chance. Now they look super, like, every time we see the minimap, we can kind of see the flow of every single team, how they move, how they macro, right? And then L5 was kind of like stalling, but still keeping their cool, which shows that the reason why they're champions. And after taking this lead, they're just going all over.
Absolutely. All right, look at Noblesse's position here. He has Mosh Pit. He's looking for a good angle. If he can get one or two, yeah, they can win the fight off of that alone. It's so important that they save the bot. Okay, look at what vision right now Raven has. Okay, they have vision just now, like right now, but the second that they were rotating up to this wave, they had no vision. Hammond, not Hammond, HGC was in a position where he could have been caught. Got to be careful about that. They get away with it this time. Okay, level 17 to 16 here, even talent tiers. No keeps down. Raven absolutely still in position where they could win this game. They're significantly behind in terms of structures, but in terms of where they are in EXP, they have a window here. And this next shrine is going to be the important one.
Let's see, Hamlin still looking for a pick from the side, and great power slide goes in. Dion is already half HP. 7-sided strike does go off, but Joju barely survives from that. And on to chase to Hamlin. Looks like, oh, he actually managed to pick on Tychus.
Nice dodge there as well. He actually make it out. Nope. Good shot by Nitrogen. Gets the reset. So it's going to be a 1-for-1. That Horrify turned the fight around. It was a really good position for L5 before that. Good dodge here on the combo by Dion. And he gets rooted, or excuse me, stunned here, unfortunately, though, by that power slide. And this is a perfectly placed root there to keep Gul'dan out. He goes down as well, and Jungha is just popping off. They can just go clear this Shaman cap. Curious what the timer on theirs is. I actually don't know. It should be coming up fairly soon if I'm not mistaken, but the shrine is free. They said the shrine is what the most important. It's going to lead towards that level 20, and it may even get them a keep.
And it is also Arcane Punisher, so going into the Punisher, they can, I don't think they can hit 20, maybe close to 20, but not yet. They can still some time soak up EXP for now, and then after that time, they can be a little bit more aggressive.
H82 is really aggressively soaking right now. It ends up being safe, but they don't have vision. I'm just watching this on the mini-map. He's trying to catch them up in EXP because they're just going to give this shrine. They know they can't contest it anymore with Jungha being in a good position there with the respawns they had. But they need to get set up a defense. H82 is going to be the guy again. He's going to want to Molten Core here. Keep this keep alive as long as possible. Try to aggro that Punisher into the invulnerable core. Here he comes.
Looks like the Echo Corruption is not complete yet.
Yeah, that's actually really important. Good point.
Yeah, because whenever your enemy is coming in, then one of those skills can actually turn the team fight on. It does so much damage if you actually land on so many heroes on the other side. Punisher starts to jump in, doing some damage. Jungha L5 is trying to be safe, just trying to take out this keep. Noblesse takes significant amount of damage. But
look at the Punisher's ability on the ground. He has 3 of them hitting the keep, so unfortunately this is not going to be defendable. The keep goes down. This means it's a huge team fight opportunity. Already Hamlin is dead, and they are pushing towards the core again. These arcane abilities on the ground, these spinning fireballs are doing so much damage. Dion is caught alone here. Will he get out? The answer is no, and that should be game here. It's going to be a 3-0 win for L5. Nitrogen gets the resets. A desperate Joju 7-sided. It's not enough. They're going to target down the core. They have level 20 now to help them finish it.
And L5 with that level 20, it looks like the core is lethal for sure. They're just going slowly, picking off a few more kills before they actually end the game. Even the Mosh Pit to grab the last second round. So he does go down at the end, but still that does not matter too much. It looks like the series is going to L5. 9-0 so far in HGC Korea. What a team.
What a team. A world champion team 2 times in a row. The first team in the world to ever do so, and now they haven't dropped a single set. Very impressive play from this team today, making it look easy.
It
Raven,
looks easy.
Raven good coordination in the early game. I think you hit the nail on the head. They seem to mechanically fall behind and maybe get fatigued as the game goes along. They lose something. They lose sight of the game, it feels like, almost in a way. They need to improve their drafting, I'd say, especially in terms of the Zeratul priority there. Against L5, it's just simply not working, but they continue to try to force it. H82 played a much better game in the game 3, though. He had some risk. He was definitely doing some risky soak in there at the end. He got away with it, but in terms of his Molten Core usage, he got a kill off of it, and he also protected those forts and keeps for a long time. So good Rag player at the end of the day. I think position-wise, he's got to improve.
Yeah, that's right. H82 really helped them really secure those buildings and not get the EXP lead go away. But at the end, L5 took the team fight on and just Nacho Jin just putting off that constant damage from the side. What a great Leeming player.
Didn't even have to fall set there in that last game to win it.
That's right. Falstad just went through the draft, actually.
Some really good Odin usage as well in there. So SC showing his Tychus playoff once again. And it just seems like this team has no weaknesses. Like, the times where they lose team fights, I'm like, they're playing greedy, or like, this was a mistake. But overall, they just seem unbeatable, G-Clef.
Yep, and De Jong staying in that front line, he made some mistakes also, and he was the only one who could actually soak up a lot of the damage. So there goes De Jong, and his variant did not look as strong as it did before. L5 even banned out variant at the very beginning. It looks like they don't need to anymore.
Absolutely. When you guys hear that music, by the way, it's because they're doing a hashtag event, as we do in Europe and NA. If you hashtag HGC, your message might get on the Korean stream.
On your Facebook.
Yeah, do it on Facebook, but you might want to do that in Korean if you want to get featured. But yeah, use that hashtag.
You might actually get prize.
Yeah, you could. So
yeah. Some skin codes and heroes if you don't have them too.
Absolutely. But that's going to do it for us for this second best of 5. We got one more, and it's going to be the best one of the night tonight. So tell your friends. We'll be right back after a short commercial break.
Well, not yet, because
I did it, G-Clef.
Well,
I closed too soon.
You did, but it's okay. We still have one more match. It has already been 4 hours and 42 minutes since the stream started. But there goes the music, and see you soon.